Hey, you there. Thank you for watching, and welcome to another cast of Supreme Commander Forge Alliance Forever. Today we have a 6v6 on Adaptive Millennium. I'm actually going to slow it down just a little bit. That way we can introduce all of our players. It is a 6v6, like I said, so that's 12 players to introduce. We have Team 1 at the top, as well as Team 2 down at the bottom. We'll start with Team 2 in the far left position. We have Neophyte in Seraphim. He is going first land. He's also turquoise, I think is what I landed on in terms of the color. We have Once Handsome in UEF in yellow, going first land as well. We have Robert R600 going first land as a Cybran in orange. We have Legend Lore, Legend, I think it's Legend Lore, 2 going Aeon, first land, second land in pink. And last but not least, we have Dorset in the air slot for this map on this race plateau. Going air, probably air all day. He is Cybran in green. Oh, and then the frontmost position, we have Ryolin in as a Seraphim going first land in blue. That is Team 2. Now we'll go to Team 1 up here. In the frontmost slot, we have Jimmy Space as a Seraphim going first land in purple. In the air slot, we have Utama going first land, second air as an Aeon in gray. We have Fluffy Ball Hero. That's a funny name, Fluffy Ball Hero. I think we'll call him Fluffy. He is in white, going first air, surprisingly, as a Cybran. We now have Reaper 22 as a Seraphim, going first land in forest green, specifically, because we have 2 greens on this map, and this green is darker than the other one, so call it forest green ale. Maybe you can call that green and that lime green, but I consider this green like a little darker, so forest green. You can comment down below if you agree or disagree with me on that distinction. This is red. Okay, I wanted to make sure because this looked crimson. We have Live Evil as a Seraphim going first land, and last but not least, in the top right hand corner, we have Tiberius the 27th as Crimson going, and as well as a Seraphim going first land. That is all the players for this game. Let me speed it up back to normal so that way we can get this game going and it doesn't take 2 hours. So typically we'll have battles in this section, and this section in terms of the land fights. Usually this position and this position get overrun quickly because allies can't reinforce as easier than these 3 or 4 over here. Air slot, very common, very normal. Get ASFs, dominate the skies, that kind of thing. We do have the comms of Jimmy and Neophile going for the middle. You can see the reclaim on this map is a lot. We have a lot of reclaim, 2,600 roughly right there, almost 4,000 right there. Got about, I'd say, almost close to 10,000, and then obviously the same on that side. So lots of reclaim, not a whole lot of mexes, so reclaim going to be super important. First engagements, going after the reclaim, which is the smarter move because, he did less than 1,000 damage and he'll rep that up quickly. Early damage is not the end of the world. If you're getting doubled or triple teamed, it does matter, but early on. Same over here, we have conflicts going on with Reolin. I'm going to call him R, because just Rylian. I think it's Rylian, I think that's how you say it. And Tiberius. Excuse me if I said your name wrong. I do apologize. That is the middle name of James T. Kirk. The T stands for Tiberius. And in the middle, we have Fluffy, pretty much dominating, no contest. We do have Robert. The O is throwing me off. Oh, sorry about that. And Weeper is coming in to support. We should see his mirror, or not. He's not going to come help out his teammate, which is fine, to each their own. I don't know. There's some communication going on, so there could be some coordination, but it could just be flaming and salt in the chat, that kind of thing. But I haven't seen anything like that so far. They're just talking to one another, and obviously the upgrade's going on. We did have an upgrade going on for Once Handsome. He's getting his drone up as well as T2, so going for that early tech rush. We do have early conflicts going on. T1 point defense, it's nice, but very early on, I wouldn't suggest it. I'd rather prefer units because it's really easy to get some artillery, and that's dead in very quickly. So not a huge deal. I'd rather have units to attack and fall back with, but maybe he has a strategy that I don't know about. We have some land claiming going on in the middle with some mexes, as well as Rylan has pushed all the way up, almost being able to cross this isthmus between the two bodies of water. He's about in the middle over here for Jimmy, so not a whole lot. He could actually push up and get this Mex, but he's probably being conservative, which is smart. You don't want to go too far forward and then get killed very early on by some T1 bomber rush, or even just having units in the bay over here, or in the bay over here, or just like in stock back here. So both teams ecoing up pretty well, and move that over so we actually see the numbers. Let's go to generated. Team 1 is leading by, I'd say, about an average of 10 or so. So not a huge advantage. 2K up in terms of mass. Again, early on. A little big of a deal. My concern for that is if Team 1 keeps accelerating that disparity, it's going to get worse and worse over time. We have Gun Splash on the way for Jimmy. That is one of the upgrades for Seraphim. What's nice about that is it does an AoE as the definition. Oh, and then he canceled it. Never mind. Forget what I just said. We have some air defenses as well as some point defense up on this isthmus over here for Ryland. Just securing the position. We have radar system over here, making sure that there's no run-bys happening, which is currently happening right now. So, and he doesn't really have any units to speak of. He's starting to, but he should have more units out. So, can he see that run-by? Let's see. He can't see it, so that Team 1 should be aware of that. Live Evil could bring his comm out of the water and help support, but maybe I don't know what he's doing. Kind of hanging out. There are some rocks to claim in the water as well, so maybe he's going for those. Now we have some aggression out from Team 2 down in the middle. Kind of pushing towards that center line. It's this map's a little different from the regular maps that I watch or play, because I'm used to kind of the traditional, kind of like League of Legends Dota, with like there's a lane here, and a lane down the middle, and a lane down here, but this is like all vertical, so it just kind of throws off instead of bot, mid, and, or actually top, mid, and bot, it's now left, middle, right, or left, center, right. So you hear me later on in the cast say left, center, right, that's what I'm talking about, is the lanes in terms of land travel. Air, doesn't matter, because you don't have to worry about that. We have gun, speed, and range out for Neophyte. He's Seraphim, so very common. Nano repair for Jimmy's kind of early. I mean, he has no damage on his comm. That's an upgrade that I see a lot of players get after they've been dealt a lot of damage to their ACU. So early on, it's not. I mean, you get regen, so you last longer in a fight, but the most important thing, not so much. We do have a T2 point defense for R600 or Robert. I think it's supposed to be like Robert in terms of like a robot. Kind of securing that little hillock that he has, and also preventing any undue run bys, which is a good position to have because T1 spam pretty weak. We do have some T2 units out, some Ilshis, excuse me, out from Reaper 22. Hopefully we'll see some action from him in securing this the center lane. We do have some huge engineer push to grab all of these trees and foliage and whatnot. Not a whole lot of reclaim to speak of. I mean, but like 20, 48, 72. Like, it does add up after a while. But most of the big, heavy rocks and high-valued mass is already hooked up and converted into machines of war. We have a torpedo launcher out from Live Evil, taking out that mass extractor on the water floor. I can't say, I was going to say sea floor, but it's not a sea, it's a lake. Or even a pond. You might even call it a pond. I mean, the water in sentence is called a pond, and that's way bigger than this, so I think I'll say pond, probably. We have some conflict out on the right lane, PD going down, nano repairs at 46%. Maybe that's just the meta here on this map, that you just get nano repair as like the second upgrade and just kind of just hang out. I think it's still weird, but I guess in a position where you're kind of out on your own, it's kind of, maybe it's more beneficial to have more regen. So that could just be a map-specific thing. That's not generally what I see, but it could be a map-specific thing. Because we also have Tiberius also getting the nano repair upgrade as well. I don't see nano repair on Neo 5, but he is charging Jimmy, so we'll see how that goes. He should be leading. Oh, no, not necessarily leading. He should have his units at least moving to cover him. And he's stopping. That's not bad until his units start moving, which, I mean, speak of the devil, they are moving, and he should be backing up now. He should not be standing still. Yeah, Neophyte is taking some damage. He's almost to half health, but this T1 army out from Neo, he is already pretty much killed off all the units from Jimmy. We have a Notha fighter bomber from Neophile as well, so that T1 point defense is gone. And I mean, he's blocking off his route into the water using these units, which is a good move, because the comm can go underneath the water and you can't target him. And if it can't get to the water, then that's it. Oh, let's see, 2,000, overcharge, 1,000, under 1,000. And I think that's the first ejection for this game. Jimmy, I'm sorry, but you didn't retreat fast enough. He is now eliminated from the game. It is not Control K, that's still needs to be fixed. And is it a full share? I think from what I remember reading, it is a no share. Yeah, that's a no share, so no units are shared, no structures are shared. And we also have gunships as well as the comm fighting at Tiberius. It looks like Tiberius will also go down. So in about the span of less than a minute, we have two comms, both the left and right side for Team 1 are knocked out. And those are also the two lowest players on the team. So that's not a 100% loss of the most APM or the most kill for the team. But two players does make a difference. We have a run by out from Once Handsome. I mean, he's trying to secure the old base of Jimmy for that reclaim is smart, but I mean, you're going into a chokehold with units already moving into it. You're not going to get very far. However, Neo is moving his units in, but the fast action of Ultima is getting all of that reclaim and getting a T1 point defense. That's a really good move, securing that reclaim, getting all that situated. You also have all of this mass in the corner that he could have used, like 700 right here. That's another 700 right there. Like, there's probably at least a good 2,000 or so reclaim just in this little clump over here. So hopefully Team 1 has noticed that, because that's a decent amount of reclaim. And if you gotten to this point in the video and you've liked what you've seen so far, please like the video, comment down below about who you think is going to win as of right now, and if you feel so inclined, please subscribe. I do appreciate everyone that have watched my other 2 casts so far. I appreciate the support and continue to hear from you guys about what you'd like to see me cast, how I'm doing in terms of cast quality and all of that. And again, if there's any mod that you think I should install as well to kind of make it easier for me to cast or for you guys to see either ACUs or SMDs, please let me know down in the comments. Okay, looks like Neo was able to clear out the engineers from Udama and be able to secure that reclaim. He has no engineers yet. He should have backed that up with some engineers. Because now his units are just kind of sitting there. He has some anti-air units kind of spitted about, but it does look like Wilbert does have, what is on that? There are some engineers on that transport, so they are going to start getting that reclaim, which is good. Like to have seen engineers with that force, but at least they're getting in there now. However, we do have some T2 units, sorry, T3 units out from Fluffy. We have a bouncer, which is anti-air, and 2 bricks. So he completely skipped the usual loyalist phase and went straight for the brick walls. These things are chunky, they move slow, and man, you get a bunch of those together and it's a party. Hence the phrase brick wall, because you're just going to run right into a brick wall and you're not going to go very far. So these forces out from Team 2 are not really going to get anywhere. They're backing up, but they should be cleared out pretty soon. Engineers coming up to support, good to see. The blue player, Rylan, has moved all the way up to this position, so he now has full access to either the former base of Tiberius or even a run-by opportunity for the other forces over there. And again, good to see Roberto getting out those engineers, going for a reclaim mission, but it looks like the air units out from they were out from Reaper were able to take that out. We do have ASFs in full swing for both teams, so T3 air in full swing. We have some siege tanks, some Optim siege tanks out for Reaper. Is it Reaper? Yeah, Reaper as well as a, I never know how to say the lightning tank's name, but lightning tank. All this T1. I mean, I would back up. It's not really worth losing your tanks to all of that. We also have some loyalists. Usually the first T3 unit in terms of either bots that Cyberns go for, but apparently Fluffy decided to just skip it entirely. Good unit. They provide a EMP little AoE on death. Able to stun some units for a couple seconds, so nice little unit to use, especially if you just cram a bunch of them into your enemy's units and they start dying and your enemy's units keep locking up and they're not going to be able to do much of anything. We do have the first experimental out of the game. It is a chicken bot, so this will be able to brush aside this force from Legend lore. Looks like we have mass, please. Oh, he's building a megalith, skipping the monkey bot. Monkey Lord, not Monkey Bot, excuse me. Monkey Lord, this is a Megabot. Very good unit, long range, not as long as the Fat Boy, but very chunky too. Can build units as well, that's one of its bonus features. That chicken is moving forward. Those T1 PD are not going to be able to do much against that. We do have some forces in tow, but doesn't look like they're going to actually support. Probably going back to deal with this. Like to see some more PD. Probably a couple here, even a couple back here, just to make sure there's no run-bys. We do have a intel installation. That's good, because that's not on the main land section. It's like on a raised plateau, so most of the ground units are not going to be able to attack that. Good use, good placement there. as well as we see both teams have used the upper plateaus for missile defense. There's a couple mass points up here. Staging areas to resupply air units, anti-air turrets. A very good use for both teams. I'd like to see a little more. You could put artillery here, shields. I wouldn't recommend putting an SMD because it's just not that you can only put so much stuff here, but you can put other things here as well, so just like Team 2 is doing. Back to Eagles for a second. The mass generation has completely accelerated for Team 2, almost 200 above Team 1, mostly due to the fact that 2 of their players have been knocked out, and so Team 1 have had to rebuild all of those mass extractors. So Team 2 ecoing more, doing better on the reclaim, I would assume. Yes, doing a little better on the reclaim. Obviously, mass generated is still in their favor for now. That might change. Who knows? Maybe Team 1 will bump up eco, considering now 2 players have more access to reclaim. All the forces were eliminated for Team 2 in the north section. Former base of Jimming. We have a Monkey Lord. Nice little T4 experimental unit. These things are really fun to use, really cheap. Not as strong, obviously, as other things, but very, very enjoyable to use as well, especially in large numbers. We do have the comm of Neophile. He needs to get under the water 10 minutes ago, and because he didn't either notice the Monkey Lord, that's game for him. He's been knocked out, which is that could have easily been prevented. That is not something that should have really happened, to be fair. He just probably wasn't paying attention, noticed too late, and died. We do have a Monkey Lord out for Robert R600. He has that little glitch where the laser's still activated, but it's not actually doing damage. I think it's a funny glitch. It sometimes sorry about that. It looks weird when it's like hitting allied units. It's not doing anything. It's just funny to see. Those T2 units out for live evil are gonna not fare very well. We do have a run by around all the way around to the middle against Reaper. However, they are T1, so not a whole lot going on for them. We do have a couple siege tanks, so I don't think this is gonna go anywhere, honestly. We have the Monkey Lord doing its thing, hiding under the water. We do have a T2 naval factory getting destroyers, probably just for close range fire. And it looks like that was a cruiser. Very effective on this map, considering the attack range is a decent amount of the other team's area. But it looks like the Monkey Lord was able to take that out. It does have, I think those are torpedoes. Yeah, those are torpedoes. So they're able to take out naval units as well. Riptides hanging out. There is the megalith. Wow, I cannot speak Cybran experimentals today. He's going to go under the water. That giant egg sac is used to make the units that I was talking about earlier. I don't know if he's going to go full charge into it. I'd rather see the Monkey Lord do that. And it looks like the Monkey Lord was taken out by the chicken, because I don't see it unless I'm blind. I don't see it anymore. Yeah, it's right here. So it almost made it in and probably got killed by that single shot. Well, at that firing ball of death. It is charging the main base of Ryan on the right lane. We do see units coming in to support. Bouncers, that should not be in the lead though. We got some bricks, more bricks, some shields. Good to see those. The shields should be with the bricks, and the bricks are now leaving. I don't know why. We have gunship. Not going to really do a whole lot. We do have a chicken and a Monkey Lord hanging out in the middle. The chicken should be moving with the Monkey Lord should be moving with the chicken. And we do have that megalith kind of sticking its head out of the water. Look at that. Look at that cheeky little thing. Just like, I'm just going to hang out and shoot my shots and probably just hop back into the water. But it looks like It's okay. There we go. There's a hit. Looks like it's because it's hitting up a hill. It's the target is very hard to hit. But those missiles coming in is gonna deal the rest of the damage for that. Looks like you got another governor up. Chicken coming in for Reaper. Probably going to take out the rest of the forces here, as well as the factory. Usually that doesn't last very long in most games that I've casted and seen. I haven't casted very many games, so most games that I've seen, it usually doesn't last very long. And as evidence, it is not. That is the end of the naval pressure out from Team 2, unless they decide to build something in this one. The chicken out for Live Evil has pretty much decimated the production facilities of the blue player. Rylan is going after the mass now, taking out the rest of those. Some T3, some T2, mostly T2 it looks like, but kind of a couple T3. So the generated eco should starting to go down. Here you can see it was 1.4, now it's 1.3. Now that's dead, well, roughly even. Now it's lower. It jumped to 3 for a second. Probably reclaiming an experimental or something. Strat Bomber's out for the air player of Team 2 Dorset. Doing some major damage. Almost destroyed. I don't imagine that lasting any longer. He should have moved that a little further north to just ensure... Oh, you got it anyway. There is a Master Distractor here. He might be moving it back just so that he can go reclaim it. That'd be the best bet. We have Monkey Lord and a Megalith. Now we have a Monkey Lord and a Megalith. Do we have anything else in tow? No, that's it. So 1 for 1 on both teams. That last cruiser still alive. We do have torpedoes out from the Megalith, dealing some damage, not a whole lot, but some damage to the Monkey Lord, the Spider Bot. ASFs. We haven't seen like major air fights. Took out the ASFs, the strats over here, but not a whole lot of air fights. Let's just check the numbers really quick. We have 66 from Dorset, and we have 55. So not a terrible deficit. Gets a good turn or two in there. He can definitely win. So not insurmountable. The monkey has unleashed his laser on the Megalith. And if Legend isn't paying attention, he is. He goes back under the water. Did more damage to the Megalith than the Megalith did to the Monkey Lord. T2 is now... Team 2 is in control of the center lanes as well as the left lane as well. Some Titans hanging out over here as well as probably just a reclaim order D1 factory. We have some still missiles coming in for the cruiser, and it looks like that Monkey Lord wants to come say hi. He's like, it's probably not a good idea. I'll go back. Kind of quieted down. We have that same chicken has ripped up back up to 20,000, as well as a new chicken on the line. We have 2 chickens on the eastern side of the center lane, and it looks like 2 Megaliths and a Monkey Lord for Fluffy. So 5 experimentals in the middle. They group those together and push. They could probably do a considerable amount of damage. T3 on the way for Robert, probably getting some more hit points, as well as wanting to probably build maybe a missile silo or any of that. Is there anything? Oh, look at that. We have a strategic missile launcher, or nuke, or ball of death, or missile that shoots ball of death. Well, the camera's not working very well. It's about halfway done to its first missile. Good to see some standoff tactics starting to be in play. We have a Fat Boy under construction for Once Handsome. ASF's kind of just patrolling a wider area. We have some ASFs out for Live Evil. That's not... Oh, sorry. Those are some ASFs. Those are biplanes getting a readout of the area. Again, like I mentioned in, I hope, at least every video I've done so far. If not, we'll continue to do. Intel is the most important thing. Being able to prep for what your enemy is doing is very important. We have a combined push out from 2 players. We have some chickens and some crabs. Very rare combination I don't see in seafood a whole lot. And chicken isn't even seafood, so that tells you it's not really used. Still going to use the camera controls. Look at that. Look at that push out from Team 1. Combined effort. Hopefully they're communicating in chat. I'm not really paying attention to the chat, unfortunately. I mean, Team 2 has to have an answer for this. If they don't, it's going to look very bad. Got some T3 units. Anti-missile defense. Monkey Lord is down. Took out the other Monkey Lord out from Team 2. We still have some bricks as well as that megalith in the back with some shields. Good to see shields being used to help buff up the hit points for that megalith. Gunships out from Once Handsome, but anti-air turret from the chicken might be enough to dissuade and kill off the rest of those. Megalith has been taken out. And so now it's just a row of T2 point defense. We also have a shield generator and a strategic missile defense. That's not going to last very long. Boom! There it goes. Oh, that was an artillery station. Oh, that was kind of forward. Should have probably put that back there, to be fair. That's not taken out. Didn't even notice that. Sorry about that. Yeah, I'd like them to continue focusing on that. Looks like Calm was taken out. Ryland, yeah, he was kind of out of the game to begin with anyway. We have a strategic missile launch out from the southern team, Team 2, Legend Lore, going for the base of Fluffy, the main producer of most of the experimentals. Is this going to land? It is going to, and that's going to be a beautiful sight to behold. Boom. Takes out the core mass, or most of the core mass at least, as well as all the production facilities, power grid. The megalith is perfectly fine. It doesn't look like it took any damage from that. Just right outside the blast radius. That's kind of lucky, but he has like nothing to build it with now. So, you know, double-edged sword. The experimental's out for Team 1. They've still got 2 megaliths. Pushing forward, we have some gunships, we have some engineers just kind of hanging out, being mercilessly killed. We got a Percival, that's going to do a little damage, but not enough to dissuade. Mass fabricators going up, very volatile. T2 power generators, as well as a Ravager online. But looks like this base is pretty much toast. We have some RASCOM, so we're getting some ecoing even further up. We have the chicken has finally been dealt with and is dealing some economic damage, leftover damage to the Ion Storm. Ooh, that sucks. Lose a RASCOM to that. So it looks like Team 1, even though they were down 2 players, has come back. It's now a 4v4 with the death of both their front player and their left player from a while ago. More gunships out, still doing more damage. ASF's coming out for Team 1. We're going to have an air fight. It's probably going to go the way of Dorset's, just considering the fact that the ASF's target priority are the strategic bombers and not the ASFs themselves. Also, flying over SAMs does not help. Or Myrmidons, I should say, but I mean, that's the name of the unit and then the type of unit, so SAMs is the type of unit. RASCOMs, Intel, Com going back to the corner, running away from the combined power of 2 megaliths. Still pretty chunky. This one has 3 vet, this one has 1 vet, some more hit points. Just got its first vet, so more, got some more hit points, more regen. There is some wisdom either to keep pushing back or not. You can't go that way. The terrain will not let you. It is too steep. Good try though. We have a push out from Team 1 going for the rest of the resourcing options. We have a control K. That was probably an actual controls K. We have some salt in chat. It's always good to see. Units were transferred over briefly and then immediately destroyed. We now have the loss of Legend Lore. This push was good, taking out the remnants of Fluffy's base. He was just able to get out enough factories to pump out T2 artillery. Point defense to kind of dissuade the rest of this. They got a run by in, so they'll take out the rest back here. But the comm is perfectly. Oh, it's not even a comm. That's a grass comm. So that's the downside with no share, is that the longer the game goes on, the more built up players get. If they get destroyed, all of that infrastructure, all of those units get destroyed, and it almost becomes worse than if they had died in the beginning of the game. So there is a double-edged sword to no share, full share, and the like. There is a partial share, which is interesting. It's the units mostly get destroyed, but the structures don't. The megalith taking out the missile defense, big missile defense out for Dorset, but he's not moving. He should be moving. And there goes a nuke out from Team 1, out from Reaper, and SMD is gone, so even if he moves, he's dead, so he's thinking, I'll just build some hives. Hanging out. And that is the last main base of Team 2, and that nuke's just, pain. Taking out the rest of the base. And then it looks like once Handsome calls the GG in chat and Control K. And that is the game. I'd like to thank everybody for watching so far. If you've enjoyed the video, please, again, like the video, comment down below, maybe answering your own comment saying, I didn't expect that, I thought Team 2 had it in the bag, or maybe you thought Team 1 had it all along. And if you like this content, please subscribe. I'm trying to put out at least two casts a week. And I'll also, if you've looked at my channel, I also have some Star Wars Awakening of the Rebellion content as well. I'm going to change the format a little bit. I'm going to probably change it to a live stream and then release the VOD after the fact. So should start live streaming probably Monday, if not Tuesday of next week. So stay tuned for that. And again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next cast.